My name is Tommy Godchaux. I graduated from Isidore Newman High School in June of 1942. I'm a veteran of World War II.
I am Rebecca Bass, and I'm graduating in 2015.
The Japanese dropped a bomb on Pearl Harbor in 1941. I just started my senior year. And frankly, we didn't think that we'd ever be in a war. You know, at our age, we thought the war was going to be a quick, done deal, and it didn't occur to us that we'd end up in the service. As the year went on, and it was obvious that it wasn't going to be a quick finish, things changed, and we began to realize that maybe we would be part of the war. And finally, by the end of our senior year, as you can see from the book and from what's written in it, and did you see the program for our graduation? The program was A Class Faces a World at War, and it was all about the war. And we had 6 speakers, each talk about a different phase of the war, and not only in the military, but at home, and what people could do and so forth. So by the time I graduated, I realized that I really wanted to be in this service, and yet I also wanted to go to college. So the solution that I found was to join the Army Enlisted Reserve Corps, which meant that I was in the Army as a reserve at the mercy of the Army, and they could call me up anytime that they wanted to. But they told us that the purpose of it was to allow high school graduates to get to college and get some college. So I went to college, and I had 1 semester, and then all of a sudden they needed me. I mean, they didn't need just me, they needed a lot of people. So I was called up in February of 1943 and sent to Fort Meade, Maryland, where I was processed into the Army.
Did your school organize any events like war bond drives, scrap drives?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you'll see somewhere in that book an ad that said that you could buy war bonds in your classroom, in your homeroom, or at the bookstore. And you know, the way that kids bought war bonds in those days, you could put up you could buy 25-cent stamps, and they gave you a book, and you put the stamps in a book, and when you filled the book, you had $18.75, and you could exchange that for a $25 war bond. You had to hold it for 10 years for it to mature to be worth $25.
Some of the clubs in here, I know that we don't have. What are they?
Oh, I was editor of this magazine, #1. See, this is a monthly magazine. You see all the issues are in here, beginning with October, and the senior book is just a June issue. I was editor of the magazine. I was on a debating team. I was a cheerleader. I was chairman of the group that formed the first student government at the school, and I won the math prize, and I was in the National Honor Society.
How else did World War II impact your days besides school?
Not much, to tell you the truth. We thought about it a lot, I guess. And we followed the news. I know personally, the National Geographic used to have wonderful maps, and we subscribed to it in my home. And I had them all pinned up in my room and put pins for the battle lines and followed the news every day and showed the changing positions of the Allies and the Germans and the Russians and so forth, and I followed it pretty closely. It all had to do with the war. That was completely on our minds by that time we graduated. That was all we thought about. Well, it wasn't all we thought about. We thought about girls.